Hello and welcome to this special broadcast on Sports Today. We're moving away from the usual. We are live when there is no lunch break, no tea break, no session ending, no dugout. But the occasion is so special that we had to come live. Why is it a special occasion? Because Virat Kohli has got his 28th test done, and we thought this is an occasion that needs to be celebrated because the gap between 27th and 28th test runs has been 1205 days. If any of you are confused as to 1205 or 1206, let me tell you, the gap between November 2019 to now, the gap is 1205 days, and it has come on the 1206th day. But we were very confident since yesterday, because if you remember our dugout was, is his drought of 1205 days going to end? And if you remember, everyone on our panel has said yes, it is going to end. That's how confident we were, primarily for a few reasons. One, because the pitch was quite benign, it was not going to do anything for the bowlers. Secondly, Virat had looked good in this series throughout. It's just that they were very tough batting conditions, so couldn't get a lot of runs. Here in these conditions, and the determination that he had shown earlier in his innings when he had got to a 50-60 odd, we knew that he is looking good to get to his 28th test done. I know that there was a big talk very recently about him not getting a lot of hundreds. Then that monkey was off his back when he got that 100 versus Afghanistan at the Asia Cup, and then was looking good getting T20 hundreds or ODI hundreds after that. So he got, I think, 3 between that, when that big gap was there, when he wasn't getting a lot of hundreds. But test 100, people kept talking about that test 100. That test 100 also he came very close to, but couldn't get. But now I'd say eventually across format, he has, in the true sense, you could say Virat Kohli is back. But it also tells you that the class batsman that he is, you give him these kind of batting friendly conditions, and 9 times out of 10 he is going to convert it into a 3-figure. This match, where it stands right now, he's been the consistent player. Players have come in, players have gone out, but Virat Kohli has been consistent. Standout thing about his innings today is that, remember, here's a player who is a stroke maker, who loves to play his shots. And today, the conditions were different. Everyone will say good conditions and he had to get runs. Yes, conditions were different. But he had to change, go away from the nature of his natural stroke making and get you runs in a very different avatar, where he had to bide his time. He had to be patient. He had to control his ego on a lot of occasions. You know, when I say ego, it is because here is Virat Kohli, arguably the greatest player of his generation. He likes to dominate, but a lot of stages in the game, he has to just be quiet, just keep defending, just be hanging around, not being able to play strokes. Because if you try and force the issue here, if you try and force the game here and try and be aggressive, you could lose his wicket. So that's how much focused he was to get this done. And before this game started, I think all of us were talking that if you got a pitch like that, it's going to be an opportunity that Virat is not going to waste. So that's exactly what he's done. What we're going to do in the next 15-20 minutes is try and take a lot of your questions. I'll have my colleagues join me as well on the broadcast. Right now, they're all working hard. One of them has come.
I had to wait 3-4 minutes after you did it because I was soaking in the moment.
No, I thought you went to get something for us. That's why it took you time. Lovely. See how he's celebrating. I'm sure you are celebrating at home. We are celebrating. You can get me some good Indian mithai.
That disadvantage of working on a Sunday. That is the only thing. The rest of the world will be all enjoying this somewhere. Even the mithai walas will be doing it in their own shops. So we have to make do with what is there. So, there is a sense of relief that comes over your entire... You feel very empty. You feel that, wow, a big load has gone off your back, head, whatever. Virat Kohli, after 1,205 days.
Wow.
A red ball century, finally. Thank you.
Kuch meetha ho jaye.
Kuch meetha ho jaye for Virat in particular.
Come on, yaar, Anurag, come.
Yes. And
celebrating Virat's
75
28 Tests, 75th International.
Oh boy. And even more, 10 years later, he scores a century at home against Australia.
That's interesting. We're going to take a few of your comments. Before that, Siddharth, do you have some, you always come up with some data, some stats and something. Before we even take, we're going to take a lot of your comments as well. If you've got any celebratory comments for Virat Kohli, do that. I don't know whether you can send pictures. Can they send pictures on their chat? I don't. If you can, go to our Insta handle, Sports Today, and just send us a message of how you're celebrating. So that's been kind enough. He's got these nice chocolates for us to celebrate. If you are eating some mithai or dancing or doing anything that you are doing at the moment, celebrating his 100, send us a picture on our Insta handle as a message, as a private message. We'll try and take some of those pictures and at least share. Send us your comments as well. We'll take that. For the moment, Siddharth, my good friend, has got some data, some stats that all you Virat fans would be interested in. Can you give us that? Okay.
I will give that. And firstly, open this, Anurag. So we all know that what a monkey or a gorilla, whatever you want to call it, it's finally off his back in all three formats. ODI, T20I, he's broken the rut. We were all wondering, when will he break that red ball rut? He's done it after 1,205 days. So, when was the last time he scored a century? That was November 23. November 22, 2019 was the time in that pink ball test against Bangladesh in Kolkata, Eden Gardens, 136 runs. Then, look at after that, post-COVID, pre-COVID also. COVID era, post-COVID, he had struggled. 2021, no century. 2020, no century. 2022, no century in tests. Finally, March 12, 2023 versus Australia and Ahmedabad, the journey from 27 to 28 is complete. By the way, this is his first test ton against Australia in India after 10 years. He had hit one in Chennai in that same game where MS Dhoni had hit 224. 10 years have passed since that time. In Ahmedabad at the Narendra Modi Stadium, he breaks his rut. But gaps between centuries when it comes to tests, ODIs and international tons, oh boy, it is a really, really sorry tale, and that's why everybody is so relieved at why Virat has got the century. Because if you have to look at his ODI jinx, August 14th, 2019, Porto, Spain, Virat Kohli, 43. It was only going to be a matter of time before you'd overall Sachin Tendulkar's mark. But no, he had to wait 1,212 days for that next ton, which was number 44. December 10th, 2022 versus Bangladesh in Chattogram. You will all know that ODI very well, not just for Virat Kohli's innings, but for Ishan Kishan scoring that 210. So 1,212 days was the gap between ODI ton number 43, ODI ton number 44. Ton number 43 was at Porto, Spain, ton number 44, 3 years later at Chattogram. But our first major sigh of relief was ton number 70 and ton number 71. We all remembered that, okay, what are we going to do? How on earth are we going to see Virat Kohli raise that bat? It finally happened. Ton number 70, you know, November 22, 2019, pink ball test, Kolkata. And then after that, in one of the most unanticipated formats, number 71, he got it in a T20I versus Afghanistan in Dubai. Imagine, peak Virat Kohli, he never ever achieved a T20I century. When he broke the rut, he finally achieved a century. Brilliant, brilliant stuff from Virat Kohli. So, remember these numbers, 1,205 days, 1,212 days, 1,020 days. So, because of that, who's got the most test tons now? He's nearing Sachin Tendulkar. Tendulkar had 20 centuries versus Australia, 9 in ODIs, 11 in tests. Kohli with 16, 8 in each. 8 ODI tons and 8 test tons. Hobbs, Lara and Gower. But this will be the most important thing now. Tendulkar 100 tons, Kohli is now 75 away. Just 25 runs away. He's on number 75.
While you give data, celebrate now with the chocolate. And you can keep giving.
So Tendulkar with 100, Kohli with 75. Can he break past Sachin Tendulkar's mark? Another 2 to 3 years, maybe. Ponting with 71, Sangakkara with 60, Kallis with 62. But today, 12:05. Finally, it's over. The wait is done. Virat Kohli has achieved what he wanted to do, broken the rut, and that too against Australia. Bigger team, gotten it. In a situation where run scoring has been difficult, as Nikhil pointed out, very, very difficult conditions to score because you have to graft your way. And remember, his earlier 100 that he made against England in 2012, that took 290 balls. This has taken close to 240, 250 balls. So it's not been easy for Virat Kohli at all. And in an attack that was disciplined, and most importantly, a 7-2 field where run scoring would have been very difficult, he's still gotten a ton. But you had expected on this flat deck, if nobody got a century, it was an opportunity missed. That's why Rohit Sharma was very angry. KS Bharat also missed a very golden chance for a 50. Threw his wicket away with Nathan Lyon becoming the most successful overseas bowler ever in Indian history.
Credit to Siddharth, because he had predicted.
Yes. And 80% had said he's getting it.
Yeah.
Because it was to happen. Because see, every kind of thing pointed out at you had pointed out even in the series, he had looked good. Front foot play was assured, back foot play was assured. Just that one decision, that one ball, he was unfortunately getting out to. Vindication. The first 3 to 4 balls, there was a stat which had said 96% middled. 1% missed, 2% beaten, 1% edge. That all came in the first 4 balls and Nathan Lyon had bowled when he had come on. Beaten, miss, 96 to 97% middled. Clear indication that he was not in bad form, as we were all thinking. He was in great form. The luck was just not going his way.
Okay. I'm going to take a comment by Abhishek Yadav. Now, Abhishek Yadav is saying, as Indian cricket team fans, he's saying, why this live is not there, that we're doing a live right now, and this is a live which is outside of the usual lunch, tea, post-day dugout that we're doing. So he's saying, come Harshit, come. So we are all adding on. By the way, come, I'm going to answer Abhishek Yadav's question.
Yep.
We've got, we celebrated.
Yes, we
Siddharth
celebrated.
was kind enough.
That's why it took me 3-4 minutes more. Nikhil did a solo for 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I soaked in the adulation.
He was not there. I was looking for him. I was like, I needed somebody to sit and talk, and he was not there. And then I was wondering where he is, and I was going to be angry with him when he would have come back, that you should have been here on time when the 100 was happening. But my anger went in a second because he came with chocolates. And
you had to celebrate
at that moment, and I thought it was a great idea to celebrate. Acha, going to the Abhishek Yadav's question. Abhishek Yadav he is?
Yes, Abhishek Yadav, yeah.
Question. He's saying, I am repeating because Harshit has joined us now. More and more people are joining us. His question is that as Indian cricket fan, why don't we do live? Rohit gets 100. Why are we doing live when Virat has got 100? Good question, Abhishek. Let me try and answer that. Firstly, we're only doing this live because there was a big news spec to it, which is that it had been 1205 days since Virat Kohli had got a test 100. And we're talking about a guy who was so used to getting so many hundreds every year that for him not to have got 100 for 1200 odd days was very unusual. It was the biggest talking point everyone had been discussing, which is why when that wait is over, which is why when he finally got that 100, there was a need, this was a special occasion that we need to celebrate. If we're talking about Rohit Sharma's 100, he didn't have that much of a gap, and that wasn't the talk around it. And it's not just Rohit, there have been other people who've been getting hundreds on and off. If not, because there has been nothing unusual. For example, if Virat now goes on to score 100 in the next test match he plays, I don't think we'll be live immediately. We'll discuss it at the gap, at whenever, we won't be. So that's the first point, why we are live now. Secondly, you call yourself an Indian cricket fan. If you're an Indian cricket fan, you wouldn't really be bothered about why we're doing for Virat, why we're not doing for Rohit. The unfortunate bit is, and you could probably fall in that category, is that Indian cricket gets divided between Rohitians and Viratians. And it is because you're divided on that front is why such questions come. Because you see there is some sort of bias, someone is doing well. That if you did not have that inherent bias inside you, you wouldn't really bother that did we do a live for Rohit or not. You would have just been happy, and as an Indian cricket fan celebrated just as we are by eating some chocolates, celebrating the wait has come to an end. And why we're celebrating it is not just because of the personal record, because there also we see some benefit of Indian cricket, not so much in this test match. Why? Because from now on, maybe all that focus, and even if there was something that may have been troubling Virat, that's going to be behind. So now he can get down to normal business, concentrate, because the next test that most likely he'll play will be the World Test Championship final. So it's going to benefit India. So that's another thing. My request to you is forget about, Virat, ke liye why we are doing live, doing that. In fact, I'm happy you said that. A lot of time people accuse that we are kind of come across as anti-Virat in our comments, and we tend to favor Rohit. So I'm very glad that you thought we are doing the other way around. The fact of the matter is both sides are questioning you, whether Rohitians or Viratians, if both question us, and that means what we are doing is right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are my 2 bits. If you have anything else to add on.
I mean, see, Virat, there are generations. There comes an era that certain players define a generation and put India onto a next pedestal when it comes to greatness. Sunil Gavaskar did that with the bat, 1969 onwards till 1987. He was the shining star.
71 onwards.
Yeah, 16 made his debut, but 71 onwards he was one of the greatest ever. He laid the foundation for Indian cricket to be so dominant. Who carried that forward? Sachin, Ramesh Tendulkar. No disputing their greatness. From Tendulkar, who took the torch over? It was Virat Kohli. That fear factor, that intimidation that he gave to India. No team wants. There is a clear-cut instruction now. Don't sledge Virat, it will backfire. Which team could have ever thought about that? Australia, who are the masters in that, they now have to buckle down because Kohli will come back at you.
He's at 16 centuries against them.
Yes, 16 centuries. The fear factor, the intimidation is what makes Virat a notch above all the Fab Four. You talk about consistency in all formats. There is Virat Kohli and there is the rest of the Fab Three. Simple. Kane Williamson might come a bit close, but he's way behind Kohli on all those aspects. So, anything that Virat Kohli does is newsworthy, appreciate worthy, anything. Whatever he talks off the field also, it gives you an insight as to how a Superman might think mortally. Because these 3 years it exposes kryptonite. Bowlers wanted him down. The simple philosophy is bowlers from 2012 till 2019 absolutely struggled against Virat Kohli. No one had an answer to him. 3 years the bowlers had their way. We have to keep him down. They capitalized on. Now Kohli has answered back. You can keep me down, but I will not be staying low for a long period of time. Simple. It's for that factor we will make Virat Kohli one of the greatest players ever. This modern era is blessed to have Virat Kohli. We have been privileged to see Virat Kohli. That's why when he scored that ton, 1 billion hearts finally had that relief. It happened with Tendulkar in that way. Remember 90s, Tendulkar's not been switch off the TV. Same, when Virat Kohli fails, we all feel that failure. Only very few players can do that.
Thoughts on what you witnessed today?
This was reminding me of something that often comes up on my Instagram quite a lot. A Virat Kohli reel with one of the interviews. And today, of course, is a moment of greatness for him. 75 is no ordinary feat. He once said that, one thing I realized, especially he was reflecting on his 2014 phase. He says, I knew I was going to be down. It's life, you're going to be down. But my immediate distractions are way too many. So I knew the way to get up was to get rid of those distractions. And if there was only one person who could help me do that, it was myself. Today, this innings is a lot about resilience of a man who knew the importance of this ton today. Look at the number of boundaries, hardly any. dealing mostly in singles and doubles. That speaks about the resilience of the guy. And I will remember this knock for the fact that it wasn't a flamboyant Virat Kohli who got to 100.
Yeah.
In his ODI 100s that he got and the T20 100 which he also got off late, you could see some sort of flamboyance. He was getting into the groove, but today was a lot about resilience. And for that reason, not because it was the second slowest knock, I believe, of his as far as a test 100 is concerned, but about the way he approached, and as Ravi Shastri on commentary said, a 600 kilo gorilla off his back.
Yeah.
Yes. And again, Virat has showed that he is adaptable. You remember Tendulkar's 241 in Sydney 2004? Cut out the cover drive.
Cover drive, exactly.
Here,
Yes.
I know I can't get big
Yes.
hits. I've cut out the sweep. I will play. Look at the defense. Right to the pitch, smothered it to the pitch. He didn't even ensure that there was bounce. That is adaptability. And Kohli shown, I am adaptable. 5s and 5 fours, 7 fours, no problem. I've got 100. India are motoring along now because KS Bharat showed that intent.
In a couple of years' time, when you'll be looking at Virat Kohli, when you'll be talking about 75th 100, you won't be talking about the fact that it was his second slowest or it had the fewest boundaries or whatever it
Why
may be.
is slow bad? In Test cricket, being
Yeah.
slow is not bad.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
according to the situation, which is why
Yes.
Cheteshwar Pujara is regarded a legend across the globe, because there is a way he plays at certain times. You know, batting slow is also not easy in tough conditions, to have that patience and to then get big totals. So I think batting slow is a negative aspect. in
But
Test cricket
many
for
people in
sure.
the comments have been pointing that out. Virat
Yeah,
batting too
that's
slow,
what-
but again, I have no
That's
problems
the
with that.
greatness of
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But that's
Ooh.
not what people are pointing out.
Yeah.
Saying that in fact in Test cricket is a great trait to have. That's what, you know, go to Mumbai School of Cricket, they appreciate being khadus and, you know, really
Exactly,
getting digging your
resolute.
heels in tough conditions. So he's done that. He's shown he can do multiple things. So we said this session is also going to be about a lot of your comments, how you guys are celebrating. So quickly read a few
Yeah.
comments. Sridhar Savaikar says
Yeah.
that Rohit, Babar, Smith, Williamson, Root scored so many centuries in the last 18 months, but Virat scores one and you realize how big the gulf still is between Virat and others. 75 international runs. He's a special player. Very nicely put by Sridhar.
Yep.
Meet Soni says, I also give a lot of hate to Nikhil sir, Vikrant sir, but I realize that you are also a fan of Virat. You know, see, that is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
That there, because there was a comment earlier, Abhijit I think had said,
Yes,
right,
yes,
where
Abhijit
that
Yadav.
we are celebrating. So see, there are other guys also who think we don't celebrate Virat. So if both sides in kind of criticize you, then I think you're walking the right line, which is the middle path. Pratik Mandal says, I totally agree with Nikhil. When you criticize Virat for not hundreds, then you have all the right to celebrate his 100 as well, and that is exactly what we are doing. Just go down. What is Varun Parvataneni saying? He's saying now that 75th is here, don't you think?
Right,
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, there it is.
Says now that 75 is here, don't you think India is in the driver's seat, knowing that VK's intent after lunch?
Knowing what?
They must
you
have a plan to
push
get.
hard. Okay, I get the point that you need to push hard. They must have a plan to get 150 in 2 sessions. But it's not easy, Varun. That's what we were pointing out. It's not that they wouldn't want to, but even getting that, the conditions are really conducive. What can happen is it'll be stupidity that, you know, you'll just end up gifting your wickets.
Yeah.
But maybe once you're past I don't know whether you're past 480, yet you would want to get a few more runs. If you don't get those runs, you get out and try to get fast. Maybe after you're there with the same amount that they've got, you could be a bit more adventurous, because that will be after tea anyway, right?
Yeah,
or
it
till
will
tea, you'll get that. So there'll be like 4 sessions left in the test match.
Yeah.
Maybe you could look at it, but I think that will happen later. But if it was that easy, then, you know, you couldn't stop someone like Virat from not being aggressive.
Exactly.
There was this over where they got 20 out of green
Yep.
right after. But then fast bowlers, you could still get some runs, as Akshar
I
is.
think he's talking about Australia's intent. That's Australian plan. That's not visible yet. And Australia would need to push hard.
No, but Australia, how can... No, I think he's talking about...
I think India.
India is saying. India
Yeah.
is in driver's seat, knowing that
Australia
they would need to push hard, as we have seen by Virat and after lunch. They must have a plan to get 150. That's what he's talking about. India should have a plan to get
Yeah.
150 in 2 sessions. So,
But again, it looks difficult looking at the scoring rate. And if they employ the pacers, which Australia are doing, maybe then you can kind of increase the scoring. But the spinners are
no, it's an interesting one, and I get the sarcasm and the upar. Where we were just now, upar. Keep going. Where we were, I think you've come down now.
Up.
Okay.
Up, keep going. Okay, I think it's just somewhere here. Okay. Like Pranav Anand is saying, that's the comment I wanted to do. He says, Nikhil sir, why are you doing live for Akshar's 11 runs and not Bharat's 44 runs? He's trying to be sarcastic to the comment that I understand that sarcasm and that's a good one. Go down. We're here. No, not fully. Go gradually. Yeah. Savan Cyclone. Why won't you put your real name in here? He wants to know if India win the test championship, then will Rohit and Virat take the trophy together because they both captain India in this cycle? That's an interesting one.
Interesting one, yeah.
No, I think who is captaining in the WTC final? Only
that is the obvious thing, we know that, yaar.
No, but I'll tell you what.
Rohit will.
So,
He's asking
what
whether
we
there
saw.
will be a gesture.
Yeah.
Obviously.
What did we see? No.
Obviously there will be. Are you sure
Yeah.
that Rohit will come Virat?
Yes.
What did we see recently in the Carabao Cup final? Bruno Fernandes was the captain in the final and of late, but there was Harry Maguire as well, who's the club captain actually. But he's not been in the side for a while now, for a few months now. But then both of them lifted the trophy together.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Will happen.
It will happen.
Okay. He's actually that technicality. Of course, we know the captain will go and pick the thing.
No, because they both captained India in the cycle, no? It was Virat who started the captaincy.
That's what I'm saying. As a gesture, will you?
Yeah. Why not?
Will it happen? Is what he wants.
It will.
Okay. Well, Siddhartha said.
But for that, they have to first win.
Of course.
They have to first win.
Yeah. They won't give you a trophy without not winning.
Exactly.
Go down. Yash wants to know, can Virat get 100 hundreds?
Okay, he's going to be 35 in November this year. Okay.
That's 34 years.
He's 34.
Just now.
Had that
10 months away.
Had that COVID
9 months
slump
away,
not happened, that 3 years. No. I'm
Going
saying
forward.
3 years.
You can't
He
say.
have wasted this and now can he now get it?
Can he not?
Difficult.
That is the answer I'm looking for. Whatever you will. Difficult.
Because I had done one article in 2017. Okay, if Virat Kohli was scoring at that consistency, by now in 2023 he would have had about 98.
But that is law of averages, you're saying.
Yeah, looking at the consistency that he had in 2017.
Okay.
He would have had 110 international tons by 2025, provided he plays until the age of 37. 110 international tons. But I think now that 3 year slump has unfortunately ensured it'll be difficult. I find it difficult.
Okay.
I think he'll fall short. He'll be in the 90s. That's what I'd hope for. But again, looking at the fact that, okay, even if optimistically, if we're looking at another 4 years and looking at the fact that he's not been playing a lot of T20 international cricket.
Anyway, T20 hundreds are very rare.
Exactly, very rare.
So doesn't matter.
So,
we're looking only tests and ODIs.
Exactly. I just find it a little difficult.
And maybe after the World Cup, he may want to play only one
or exactly.
formats.
He might.
No, I don't think so.
I have a feeling he'll end up
I don't
picking.
think he would. No, I'll tell you why. He, as far as I know, was not keen not to play T20s also. So the selectors haven't been picking them. He is keen to play. I don't think any player is going to give up a format. He may give T20 up, internationals that too.
Yeah.
I don't think ODIs and Test he would want to give because ODIs is bread and butter.
Do you think?
And Test cricket he loves.
Do you think ODI World Cup, if India win, let's say, could there be a change of heart and he'll be like, okay, now I'm a world champion as well.
No
let me give up
chance,
ODI
no.
and let me just focus on the purest form.
He's 34 years of age. What is 34 years of age to decide that no, I don't want to play a format? No chance. And why should he? If he's getting runs, 34 is no. I see with the fitness that he has time till 38. Okay, I think he can play till 30. If he has 4 years in him, whether he plays the next World Cup or not is not immaterial. Even if he does not 4 years, 3 years, whatever. Why should he give up on a format? His dream to play cricket for India, right? Why should he suddenly one day decide, no, I don't want? He wants to play. Till such time, of course, he reaches a stage where either his body is given up, which is not the case in his, if you take his example. He's fit. We were just talking, he's just missed 2 test matches. Yeah. So he's fit, mostly fit. You have a 20-year-old Shreyas Iyer who's unfit, who gets lower back pain, and Virat is playing. So if he is fit, and then, as I said, these are 2 formats so close to him. ODI is an absolute beast.
Yeah.
Why should he give that up? And that's the best format for him. Has been, at least in his. And Test, we know how much he loves.
Yes.
Why will he give up on these 2 formats? I doubt. At best, if he had to by himself, T20 could be that format. That too, he'll continue playing IPL.
Yeah.
I doubt he's going to leave that. So he'll play. So he's playing all formats. Now comes the question of whether he gets to 100. And for that, he would need about 600s a year on an average. If he's playing till 38, I'm assuming. 600 a year between test matches and ODIs. Why I'm saying maybe tough, because with age the frequency of his hundreds will drop. It's not that he won't get hundreds, he will, but the frequency of getting 6 a year may not happen. So I think it'll be touch and go. Even I agree with Harshit. If I had to make an educated guess, I think he'll be in the 90s somewhere. 100 maybe.
But see, when he broke that ODI rut, it took him 1212 days. He scored 3 more immediately after that. So frequency, looking at that, it's still strong, but heading forward 24, 25.
But I'm saying, even when he's broken it, when did he break it? It was October.
December 2022. The ODI one, no?
No. The Afghanistan 100. September, October.
Asia Cup. September.
Right? So let's look at this cycle where he's done reasonably well. Right? And he's played all formats. So you're going to be coming at it in September. Right now you're sitting in March. Right? So that's October, November, December. Half a year has gone by. How many has he got till
He's
now?
gotten 5. 71, 72, 73,
that was
75.
Afghanistan was 70.
So 71. No, that was
71.
71st.
71st.
72nd, 73rd, 74th and 75. 5. So 5.
5 in 6 months.
5 in 6 months. So at this rate, he can get.
He can.
At this, it's only half a year gone by. So let's say he gets 8 this year on a conservative estimate. Okay, 8. Then he actually compensates for next year. Even if he was not to get 6, he can get 4 and still be required run rate ke mutabik he'll be there. You know, I'm just saying. He can also. Actually, it's an interesting question. If you sit back, he could. He could. It's a touch and go situation.
See,
but also we're assuming he's playing till 30.
See, Tendulkar, even in his second last year, managed to get about 8 or 9 centuries in a calendar year. So he might have that 1 year, okay, maybe 24 or 25, he will get that 900s maybe combined. Maybe that can happen. But then after that frequency, we'll get 2 a year, 3 a year, 4 a year. It'll be tough. Unless he plays till 40, this is another 6 years. 6 years means till 2029. If he's supremely fit, why not? That's the way.
Chalo, we'll take your leave now. Any more comments that we wanted to see? Go down, completely down. Pranav says we celebrate Virat more because irrespective of whatever people say, he brings more people together than anyone else. Even when he's not scoring 100, and thus it's only natural people celebrate his 100 more. He, without doubt, is the biggest star in Indian cricket at the moment. No denying. He's right.
Only once in a generation will you get a player that brings the entire nation together, and that hands down has been Virat Kohli for a good 8 to 10 years now.
Luckily now for 42 years and counting, we have had at least 3 players who have brought the nation together and ensured India is on the great pedestal.
Even when in 2011, when Sachin Tendulkar, that World Cup was around Sachin Tendulkar, even when Sachin Tendulkar was getting crowned world champion and Virat Kohli was around, everyone knew you were looking at a star.
Yes.
K22 says Virat's 200 coming actually is possible.
It can happen.
Because of the drought being so long. You're so hungry for the run, then when it rains,
it pours.
Right? So could be absolutely, and he's got an able batting partner in Akshar. So it's not that he's ready with a tail that he can't. And looking at him, he seems like, he's like, now is my chance. I ain't letting this go.
Indeed.
So that's that. Final question we'll take. Greenville Dorigo. He says, which is Kohli and Sachin's best 100 in Tests?
Sachin's best 100 Although it came to losing cause, 136 versus Pakistan, Chennai,
Yeah, it was
1999.
outstanding. Yeah, but because it came in a losing cause,
Yeah.
I'm not too
I
sure.
think
I liked his 92 Perth.
114 on a
Awesome.
absolute lightning
Young
fast
kid,
pitch.
Young kid, brilliant 100.
Maybe if you want for a winning cause, then I will say his
The Chennai 100.
Chennai 100.
After-
England, terror attack, 26-11. Yeah, 103.
Yeah, good.
Greatest.
yes.
Yeah, that was a good
I think Sydney for me again before the discipline and the mindset.
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
I hold again for a batsman to hold on to his cover drive for 240 odd runs.
Yeah.
For Kohli, yet again it came in a
Adelaide?
losing. Yes.
I'm going with Adelaide.
Adelaide?
2014.
2014.
Second inning.
Same.
Outstanding.
Yep.
Outstanding.
But
Gave me goosebumps.
yeah. But
And you know, I was
you're there.
not- no. I was, by the way, I was listening to it on radio. I was in a journey. I was on a journey, and I was not getting. Those were the days I don't think that OTT was
yeah.
available on phone, so I could get some radio thing. I got internet radio somewhere. I got radio commentary of it. I got goosebumps just listening to that.
This is just I think collective.
Yeah. Oh, for me, more than 2014, I think that 2011. 2012 one and Adelaide. It
yeah.
made Virat Kohli.
Yeah, but
the
that's what
Virat
we saw,
Kohli. Yeah. Test centuries. But if you have to look at ODIs, I cannot look past Hobart.
His 100, true. And Sachin's Desert Storm.
Desert Storm, yeah.
Desert Storm. Forever 90s kids would be golden because of that.
Yeah. Chalo. Thank you so much for joining us
We'll
in this
be back.
special broadcast. We'll be back tea time. Not
Yep.
much time to go. Maybe an hour.
50
Less
minutes.
than an hour.
50 minutes.
See you then. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Vanakkam.